What's good, people? It's your boy Clan, the Spurs fan. Uh, Here with a brand new video. If you could give me a like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on. I'm not happy right now. I'm not happy right now. As you can see from the caption, yeah, this isn't gonna be a good live for me. Is this real sources? Okay, so first I saw it on Instagram from Spurs feed, the Instagram page Spurs feed. I looked into it because he said that he heard that the Spurs are looking to trade DeMar DeRozan, or teams have asked about DeMar DeRozan and if he's on the trading block. So I instantly tried to find the sources of where it came from. It came from Paul Garcia, who's a writer for the San Antonio Spurs, in which he retweeted a post from a guy named Ross that's over. What is he over? What is his page? I can't remember his page name. It's going blank right now. But it's a guy named Ross. It's a guy named Ross who has been right on a few things this offseason. But I instantly asked CG because CG, the guy that I talked to, and I asked him about it, and he said, "Yeah, man, I sent you something about it about a couple hours ago." And then I look back on the messages. I look back on the messages, and sure enough, he did post almost the exact same thing, but he said that the Spurs have him on the trading block. Teams are looking to trade him or trade for him. And he said the only two teams that he's heard thus far were the Knicks and the what was the other team? I'm sorry, I'm all messed up right now. I'm all messed up right now. It was the Knicks and it wasn't the Heat. Who was it? It was the Bulls. That's what it was. It was the Knicks and Bulls. So he heard that the Knicks and the Bulls were the two teams that tried to contact the Spurs on the availability of DeMar DeRozan, and he said that he's heard that DeMar DeRozan is in fact on the trading block. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Don't trade DeMar. Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I feel the same way. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna always trust Popovich and RC. Like, regardless of anything that happens, I will always trust those two. And I guess why these conversations are even going about. I guess if you heard about the rumors, there were rumors that DeMar DeRozan was saying that he wanted to play back with Kyle Lowry. I don't know if those how much validity was in those rumors. I asked CG about that. He didn't hear nothing about that. So I'm not sure about that. But then at the same time, I guess the Spurs could have gave DeMar DeRozan an extension already. I believe on the 6th they could have gave him an extension. They didn't do it. And next year or next summer he has a player option, so he could very well next summer opt out and then become a free agent. So maybe they're looking at it in that spectrum. Maybe they've already talked to DeMar DeRozan. I don't know. I don't know. But as of now, it sounds as if this seems pretty legit. That rumor was fake. Okay, yeah, about him going to play with Lowry. I thought it was fake also. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there now that this is out there and this is out in the open. Um, and a lot of things this season, CG has been right about, and the things that he was wrong about is just circumstantial. I mean, it was a lot of stuff like who the Spurs want to draft, you know, in the draft, and those players that he named that the Spurs were looking at, they were gone before they even got to us. So there was no real way of knowing, you know what I'm saying, who the Spurs were going to get. There was just no way of knowing it. So those been the main things he's been wrong about. Other than that, and even him being wrong about that, he was right about it. And he's been right on a lot of teams in the offseason. It's always hard to keep up with the Spurs, but he was right. One thing that I really highlight CG for was being right about the Paul Gasol thing, or the Pau Gasol thing, because he mentioned the Pau Gasol getting bought out way before he got bought out, and then shortly thereafter he mentioned it. Then maybe a week later, people started asking, or it started, going more in the public. And then they started asking Pau Gasol about it. He said no, no, no buyout, and then eventually they did buy him out. So I trust CG when he says he heard something. He works for ESPN. When he hears something, he's heard it. And then now when I'm seeing all this stuff on Instagram and seeing where it's coming from, Paul Garcia, who's a reliable source, and he believes that this Ross dude is legit. So I don't know what to think at this point, but it's out there. I just wanted to get on here and see what you guys' thoughts are on it, just so we can talk it through. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not super excited right now. Hell no, I wouldn't trade Jalen for DeRozan. Who? Jalen who? Spurs are done for it. Oh, they are done for if they cut Demar. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, no one is good on those teams. That's what I was thinking. I mean, I'm looking at freaking I'm looking at the Bulls, and they got Zach Levine. Um, I mean, I'm looking at Knicks. I don't know. I honestly don't know, y'all. I'm so out of it right now. Like I'm not happy about this. Hayward and Brown for DeRozan is I don't care what anyone says. Gordon Hayward. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I've always wanted Gordon Hayward. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I prefer him over DeRozan by any means, but I've always wanted Hayward. Like always. I always loved Hayward's game. He always reminded me of like a more smoother, less selfish Carmelo. I know that sounds messed up. The chemistry was just building in this, and then this. Yeah, I know. But hey, it's not a guarantee, y'all. It's not a guarantee. I'm just letting you know what's out there and what I've been hearing. You said fake news. Uh, I don't know if you were talking about what we're talking about. You were talking about when I mentioned the Lowry thing, but I don't know. At this point, when I first heard the news, I promise I looked into it. When I first heard it, I said, "Nah, fake news. Spurs not even going to entertain trading DeRozan." And then, I looked at where it came from and I said, okay, well, I'm not fully on board with this. And then when I look at the past messages that CG has sent to us, he mentioned it. So it's not like something that's just not out there. People are hearing this, people are getting certain sources. He works under ESPN. I don't know who Ross works for. I think he has his own type of company, but Paul Garcia is a writer for the Spurs. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It's out there. And in case it's real, if this is gonna happen, I just want you guys to be able to vent here before anything happens. But I I'm telling you, I've heard it. They mention it on certain platforms, so it's out there. It's out there. Before now earlier was it the off season? Was it the off season yet? Yeah. I think it was the very beginning of the off season, and they were mentioning trading DeRozan or DeRozan on the trading block or teams looking. I don't know if that was legit then, but it sounds like it's a little more legit now. The only thing that we have going for us is a defensive backcourt and team chemistry. LaMarcus cannot win us playoff games, nor can DeRozan. We lost the Denver series because of them. I okay. Can I say something? Because I'm gonna say something about that series. Okay, and I've said it on what podcast? It was a Bucking Spurs podcast. There's a guy named a Bucking Spurs podcast. Go check him out. His name is Rob. He's awesome. And I mentioned on there, and we had a discussion about DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge. We were on two different spectrums completely because he loves LaMarcus Aldridge, and I'm not too hot about LaMarcus, but he hates or can't stand DeMar DeRozan as far not that hates him, but he can't stand DeMar DeRozan's game, and I'm for one that likes DeMar DeRozan's game. So what my argument is for DeMar DeRozan as far as that series goes, I will say that DeMar DeRozan all season long has hit big shots for us. He's been a big shot maker. He's been a big time player, and on top of it, DeMar DeRozan, this is his first year under Popovich. So I always gave him a little bit of slight. Like I'm not gonna fully go in on DeMar DeRozan in that series only because it was his first year with us, and with all the emotions going on this season, the Kawhi Leonard issue, DeMar DeRozan, getting payback to Raptors, trying to play against them all season long. This season has been chaotic with Dejounte Murray getting injured. I mean, how far did I expected us to go pretty far, but how far did most people expect us to go? Not far. So I just understand that there was a lot of drama going on during this season. It was a lot of things, crazy things going on. It was his first year. Now, as far as blaming him for that loss, I will say that he did not show up most of that game. He was trying. He was taking tough shots. He was trying to, force the ball in the hole. It was just not going for him. And every shot that he took was pretty contested. And in the fourth quarter, when the fourth quarter hit, DeMar DeRozan got clutch. Him and Bryn Forbes. They started hitting some big shots, and he got us back in the game. Now, LaMarcus Aldridge, on the other hand, the reason why I'm not high on LaMarcus Aldridge, and the reason why I always give DeMar DeRozan a pass, as of right now, I'm giving him a pass. But with LaMarcus Aldridge, he's been here for a long period of time, or a good period, not long, but good period of time now. Not only that, he has already requested a trade at some point, and we convinced him to stay. And we said, all right, LaMarcus Aldridge, we're going to put the game in your hands. You're going to be a bigger part of the offense. We understand that we kind of steered away from you at times, and we went Kawhi Leonard, but we're going to go to you. We give him the ball, and we I think, did he ask for a trade at the end of 2017? It might have been the end of 2017 he asked for a trade. Because in 2017, he didn't show up in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, Kawhi went down, then LA was a no-show. But, yeah, I think he asked for a trade that offseason. But anyway, he already asked for a trade at some point. Later on, we said, okay, it's going to be in your hands. We give the ball in his hands. Go to work, LA. Go to work, LA. I gave him an excuse. We lost against the Warriors first round. I said, you know what? We didn't have Kawhi because he was being a butt. Now we go into the next season. We don't have Kawhi. And now we have LA and DeMar. LA, go to work. Do your thing. And then we have all these reports coming out and quotes coming from LA that he has thought about playing with Damian Lillard another time in his career. He's been thinking about going back to the Trailblazers again. So at this point, my leash with LA is very, very, very short. Then we get into the playoffs, and it's basically gonna be LA and DeMar or bust. We go against the Nuggets, Game 7, and Jokic looks like the veteran, and LA looks like the young player. They just can't get it together. And the only points that he could put up on the board was things that Pop drew up for him. So it was very hard. It's very hard for me to excuse LA in this instance. So when we say that like when we sit here and we say who's to blame for that first round exit, I put it more on LA than I do DeMar, because technically this isn't DeMar's team yet. And technically DeMar hasn't even become a real Spur yet. This was LA's team. So it's very hard for me to get onto him like that. Oh, a Bucket Spurs podcast in there. I was just talking about you, Rob. I was just talking about you. No, we're just talking about these rumors or reports, apparently, that DeMar DeRozan is on the trading block. I heard it first on Instagram. I looked more into it. It ended up being a guy by the name of Ross. Paul Garcia is actually the one who reposted it, that he heard that DeMar DeRozan is on the trading block, or that teams have asked the Spurs about DeMar DeRozan. And then I looked into Ross. Apparently, I don't know if I trust him or not. So I went straight to CG. So I asked CG, the guy that I know who's under ESPN, and he told me, well, he actually told me before I messaged him. Before I messaged him, he actually already sent a message. I didn't see it. And it was about a couple hours before that. So he already said that, yes, that's legit. DeMar DeRozan is on the trading block. And the two teams that are in discussion or have called the Spurs in regard to DeMar DeRozan were the Knicks and the Bulls. I don't know. I'm irritated. Richard, I so agree with you. Dang, I want to know what Richard said. People need to stop saying trade Patty. I'm gonna make a video about that Patty thing, because I'm very against that. Spurs feeling pressure. You said, damn, yeah, I know. Spurs feeling pressure with all these NBA. Oops, sorry. All these NBA moves for Otto and Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter. Good lord, y'all. Who will we want from those teams? I know it's nobody on those teams, but he said those are the teams that called the Spurs. But he did say that DeMar DeRozan, he's hearing that DeMar DeRozan's on the trading block. But those are the teams that he heard mesh. I mean, it might be more teams out there. It's just that what he's heard, and he keeps up with every. It's not like he just Spurs, so he tries to keep up with all the teams. So it's not just the Spurs. Draft picks, yeah, I guess draft picks. I don't know what their draft picks even look like. I said Knicks and who? Bulls, Chicago. Knicks literally have nothing. They can't trade until December. Hey man, that's cool. You're gonna start uploading highlights. You do that. You do that. If we had to hold on, if we had to move, see these messages go by so fast till when I'm on my phone, I can't really keep up with it like that. If we had to move tomorrow, who would you want ideally from any team? Man, I don't even want to have to think about that. If I'm being honest with you, but hey, a lot of people have been saying Bradley Beal. I don't know how that would make too much sense because Bradley Beal gonna need some money. But I guess Bradley Beal. You say DD DeMar DeRozan. I say keep DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, I say the same thing. I want to keep DeMar DeRozan because at this point I feel like DeMar DeRozan will be loyal. I don't feel like this will be one of those situations where we just straight up lose him. Now I know that's one thing that a lot of people are afraid of. Like you're gonna lose DeMar DeRozan. We're gonna lose him anyway. But you can't really. I don't know. You can't be afraid to lose guys like that. You know what I'm saying? And another year under the Spurs, he might decide he want to stay. I mean, you talk to Popovich, Papa convince you anything. So, Clan, you want to sign DeMar for long term? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't give it like I know a lot of people mention a max deal. I don't think DeMar DeRozan needs a max deal, and you can't give him too much money. That's the thing too, because if you give him too much money, what? Oh, sorry. If you give him too much money, I think that you're gonna put yourself in a bind when it comes to the uh, Murray because we're expecting Murray to break out and become a star, and he's gonna want his money. And he's under Clutch Sports, so they're gonna try to demand some money. DeRozan, Patty Mills, and a first pick for Hayward and Jaylen Brown. Man, y'all need to stop with that Patty Mills stuff. Man, Rosen's still young though. Yeah, he's only 29. The only reason I would say like I agree with some people when they say Bill is because Bill's 26. But I mean, I don't know what the I don't know why the Wizards would necessarily want DeRozan. I'm always afraid of all these trades. Like you just trade, because at some point you're just gonna get a diluted product. I mean, look at who was it? Yeah, it was Cleveland who did it. Like Cleveland, they made trades for Kyrie Irving, and then they said, "Well, this product isn't that great." Then they made more trades and said, "Oh, this is a better trade," and then it ended up even being a worse team. So I don't like all these like constant trades, which we haven't traded a lot by any means. We're the Spurs; we barely trade anybody, but that's the type of situation you get in when you trade a you have to trade. You're forced to trade a Kawhi. The thing is with DJ, White, and Walker, we have playmaking and more scoring options. There are other players that can give us 20 points per game. Yeah, like a Bradley Beal who doesn't need the ball. I got you. I got you. That makes sense. Is this fake news? I don't think it's fake at this point. I mean, do any of us truly know? No, you know what I mean. Do any of us know exactly? Like, none of us have, Pat or not Patty Mills. I'm sorry. None of us. Oh my God, I can't talk. None of us have Popovich or RC Buford number on speed dial where we can just call him and ask if it's fake news or not. But at the same time, I'm telling you what I've heard and I'm telling you what's out there. So it's not a matter of is it fake news? It has some validity to it. If he's on the trading block, I don't know. Have teams called him about possibly trading for DeMar DeRozan? That's a possibility at this point. Let's see what you're talking about. You see, he does not stretch the defense. He gets his shot blocked all the time. If he has one of those shooting slumps like he had the second half of the year in the playoffs, we are dead. What are you talking about? You talking about DeRozan? Yeah, that's why I said that, Kyle. DeRozan and Spurs could have agreed on extension on the 6th. That's why I said. I said that at the beginning of this video. I was like, they could have extended it, and they didn't. They didn't speak about it. A matter of fact, like the Spurs and DeRozan they didn't even speak about an extension at all. So I think that's interesting. That's fair, Brandon Brown. What Brandon Brown say? We should have never extended LA. Is that what you're saying? I mean, I don't. Um, I am not a big LA fan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to be that guy. I understand that LA is one of the best in the business. He's one of the best power forwards. I'm not expecting him to go into the shoes of Tim Duncan, which some people actually expect him to do. I never saw him as a true winner, even when we got him. But I was excited because I'm like, yo, we got so much talent. That year we had so much talent. We still lost. Um, Lost in the second round, a matter of fact, when LA got here. But I'm just not a big LA fan, and I've kind of turned myself into more of a DeRozan fan. But at this point, I'm just kind of down on this whole thing. Let me see. I would love to get Drummond in the trade involving DeRozan. Andre Drummond? Do anybody else feel that way? I wouldn't want Drew. I don't really care for Drummond. If only Zaza was never born. Zaza don't have anything to do with it. I know that like Zaza get a lot of blame for this whole situation. Um, I don't think he has anything to do with it. Kawhi has already shown that even if he win a championship, he'll leave on you. I mean, he had nothing to do with that. Uh, we will blame Zaza forever. Man, you can't blame Zaza forever. You can't do that. Screws ain't. Don't get me wrong. Screw Zaza. Like Zaza hate me. He blocked me. So I mean, me and Zaza, I don't like him either. He hate my page. So, but I ain't gonna blame Zaza for Kawhi leaving. I mean, if Kawhi was a true Spur, that wouldn't have made a difference. He would have just said, "All right, we're gonna get him next year." And on top of it, the whole Zaza thing, it should have made Kawhi even closer to Pop, because Pop went to bats for Kawhi after that happened with Zaza. He was the only one that spoke out and said how dirty it was. A lot of people, even in media, reporters, uh, you know, First Take, ESPN, like all of them that were talking about it, it seemed like they didn't even care. They didn't even care. And Pop was the main one that came out and stuck up for him. So I mean, I don't know. I got blocked by Marcus Morris. Dang, what you say to Marcus Morris? I've been reporting, like not reporting. I've been putting out all that stuff about Marcus Morris. I wasn't really mean about it, but I have put that stuff out, and he didn't block me, and I know he saw my stuff. So what did you say to him, bruh? Dejounte blocked my IG too. Yeah, he blocked me. I don't understand that. I made a video earlier this year, and like some people killed me about it, man. I made a video earlier this season about Dejounte Murray, and I talked about. Okay, you saw that video, yeah, where I talked about Dejounte Murray and all that drama that's going on with Dejounte Murray. Keep in mind, I was up like all night. I won't tell you why. There was something that not good happened, and I ended up being up all night. And I was like, I gotta go ahead and make a video, put it out there, and I really wanted to go ahead and make that video, so I made it. And I mentioned in the video that he blocked me, and people were saying that I was a hater and that's why he blocked me. But they don't realize that Dejounte Murray blocks everybody. I don't understand. He blocks everybody. Like I was talking to fan pages, and he blocked me. He blocked me way before this year. Like he blocked me when he was a rookie, when I didn't even know who Dejounte Murray was really. He blocked me. He blocked me in the stage where I was doing nothing but like praising him and wanting him to play more, and he blocked me. And then I talked to other fan page and they say, yeah, he blocked me too. So I don't know why he blocks people. He just block you. If you talk about the Spurs at all, he just blocks you. Uh, you guys would literally not be a fan of DeJounte because he blocked you on social media. Don't trip. You talking about me? What are y'all talking about? I don't know what y'all talking about. But no, I was like, man, what the hell? I thought it was really weird. Um, and a lot of people, because I got critical of DeJounte Murray later on with certain stuff, because I always thought Derek White should have ran point guard in a way. But I mean, I got critical of him, but people thought that me getting critical of him is what made him block me. They don't even realize he blocked me a long time ago. Uh, he thinks they're weird. Oh, he thinks that fan pages are weird. I don't know what y'all talking about. Clan, how did you feel about that post about Duncan? Tim Duncan is the most overrated player of all. Oh, that's just a joke, man. I don't. You can't take that serious. Him being the most overrated player. I mean, whatever. Like anybody with a brain knows that he is not overrated by any means. I mean, come on. Dude got 5 champ. Come on. Yeah, there's no. He's not overrated. He has a anybody that has competed against Tim Duncan will tell you he's the best matchup they've ever had. Even Shaq himself, who was so dominant in the paint, said the hardest time he had was with Tim Duncan. So yeah, that's just you can't take that serious. Dude, Derek White is good and we all understand that. But from a developmental standpoint, DeJounte had the higher upside. I mean, technically, I guess because Jonte Murray, his frame and his length, and I, I mean, both of them super athletic. So I won't even say that Jonte's more athletic than Derek White. That just wouldn't be true. Um, I mean, I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying as a point. I'm not saying who's better, who has the most upside, who can just take over a game, and there's nothing you can do about it. I think that DeJounte Murray has that potential to be that type of player. Hands down, he has that type of potential to become that type of player. But who controls the offense the best? I've seen a full season with DeJounte Murray being the starting point guard, and I've seen a full season with Derek White with a little less talent be the point guard for the entire season. And in my opinion, Derek White was a better point guard. I think that's a fair assessment. If Derek White came out and he wasn't a good point guard, he didn't control the pace, then I would just say DeJounte's a better point guard. But on this team, I think Derek White is a better point guard, and I think DeJounte Murray has the capability of becoming a better player. You know, that you don't have to be the point just because you're one of the best guards doesn't mean you have to be the point guard. That's not necessarily true. You know what I mean? Their upside is crazy individually, but upside together is unbelievable. Yeah, I think both of them should start. That's just me, and I think because Dejounte Murray is a score first type of point guard, I say you know what you be shooting guard. Now you develop the shot that we all believe he has. You develop your shot. You do your thing. Derek White gonna put you in best positions to win. He gonna put you in best positions to get your shot off. They can be like a mastermind at those two guard spots. So I don't know. I think they could be a force. That's just me. Yes, Spurs need a center. Ashley, don't come in here. Don't come in here and be happy about the DeRozan news. I'm pretty sure you just jumped in here and you happy about the DeRozan. Don't do this. Don't do this. We're all mourning right now. You're really gonna hurt our feelings. No, Spurs should keep Brent Forbes. He shows a lot of effort and tries really hard. Somebody say get rid of Brent Forbes? Because I can talk about that too. If Spurs trade DeRozan, we need a center. Enough said. Well, don't. Yeah, I mean, okay. Uh, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. I don't know what y'all talking about Brent Forbes because these messages go by too fast. I can't find it. You want to talk about Brent Forbes? I think Brent Forbes is a great player. Like, I think that he's one of those players you want to keep because his attitude is so strong and his clutchness and his fearlessness. Like you got to keep a guy like that. And to me, in my assessment of the playoffs, he was the only one that showed up in the first round in Game 7. Like one of the main ones. I felt like DeRozan showed up at the end, but the whole game, if you just watch it and paid attention, Brent Forrest was the one that stuck out. Forbes and Patty forever. Yeah, you got to keep. See, a lot of people talk about Patty. I'm gonna make a video on Patty. I gotta make a video about Patty because everybody that says Patty's overpaid, I feel like I have a good. I feel like I have a good reason for saying for believing that he's not overpaid, and it might not be the reason that you think, but I might have to make a video about that because I don't think he's overpaid like some people say he is. Um, Patty inability to hit layups kills his production. I mean, Patty's going to retire Spur, and he should. I talked about him getting that award and what it meant. Check it out in my last pod. I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it or listen to it. Aldridge is overpaid. Well, I mean, Aldridge is getting paid what a star on a team would typically get paid, but I can't say LA and Demar like overpaid because I mean they're some of the main reasons we made the play. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. They say drunk. You were drunk when you made it. Patty's overpaid, bro. He shouldn't get paid that money for someone who can't drive to the rim. I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna make a video on that because I don't think he's overpaid. But there's a reason I don't think he's overpaid. Clutch gene for Bryn is real. Yeah, he's clutch for real. He's clutch for real. But yeah. So how are y'all feeling about this DeMar DeRozan news? I mean, are you upset? Are you sad? Are you happy? Do you hope they do it? Do you hope they don't do it? I mean, what you feeling right now? Because I mean, we saw all those rumors earlier about them wanting to trade for Bojan or something. I don't even think that was real. Not surprised. You're not surprised. You said lies, Gio. I hope it's lies, man. I hope they lied to CG, and I hope Ross got false information because I'm not happy about it. The disrespect for Aldridge is real. Lamar, uh, Lamar. Oh, Lamarcus a couple years ago basically carried the Spurs and had the best year as a Spur last year, and that did nothing, man. And that meant nothing. Him carrying us meant nothing because when it really matters, LA ain't there. I'm sorry. And I have enough years. I've seen enough years with him under us to see it that he just not there. This last year, it it, it pushed me over the edge, man. Losing to a game seven against an inexperienced team, and it's okay to lose against them because yeah, technically they probably had more talent, more pieces at that point. It's okay to lose against them, but the manner in which we lost was like, come on, man. You got to step up. You got to step. Jokic cannot make you look like, the baby brother. I feel bad for that guy who made the mural for him. I don't feel bad. He gave him some recognition. It wouldn't have gave him any more recognition if DeMar isn't here. I'm sad. I like DeRozan. I like DeRozan too, Haiti. I like DeRozan too. We'll be unstoppable defensively if we get Randall. For DeRozan, I'm kind of confused. I'm trying to see where y'all minds are at. I wouldn't mind keeping him for this next 2-3 stretch. Got you. He can't play with another star. You talk about LA, right? I don't think LA can either. I fall in love with DeRozan's game. Me too, man. Me too. Got a little bit of Kobe in him, just a little bit. Kobe made Trey Lyles a star. Okay, coming out of college, I think people expected Trey Lyles to be a star. So is that potential still there? Yes. I think a lot of people expect him to become an all-star. So the potential is there. Will you do it? I don't know. But I will say this. If Kyle Anderson was drafted to any other team to begin his career, I don't think he would even have an opportunity to be in a roster at this point of his career. And that's just me. I mean, he's tearing it up with Memphis, at least from what I saw last season. But if he was with, if he just came into the league somewhere else, I don't think he would have had that ability to get paid like he has. Now, as far as Trey Lyles goes, his game is similar in a way to Kyle Anderson. Like he got a little Kyle Anderson in him. Not so much the defense. Kyle Anderson's an A1 defender, and people kind of don't give him credit for that. He was a really good defender, but yeah, he has potential for sure. He can play the 3 through 5. It would just take how much heart he has and how much dedication he has in his game to elevate. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest, and this might be me just being petty and me tripping. Um, and I'm not even sure if Damari Carroll has done it. No, Damari Carroll talked to a reporter, so I give him slack on this. I am not 100% as enthused about Trey Lyles as I was when the news first broke. Only because his reactions right now, like he hasn't really. Now I'm not saying you have to do this, but you do have a social media. You are active on it. Maybe he said some on Twitter. If somebody want to tell me he said some on Twitter, but from what I've seen, he hasn't said anything about the Spurs. And not only that, today I saw a video and it was posted probably about 40 minutes ago on his Instagram story. And I guess he had a friend or something, that was a cook or something like that. And he was in the kitchen, and the cook said something like, "Man, you've been down here eating candy bars," or something like that. And then Lyle says, "You can't say that. You can't say that. This is Instagram." And I'm like, "Dang, bro, you eating candy bars?" Like I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. You say, "Yeah, he has." Uh, Clan, how long you gonna be live for? Man, probably about only 10 more minutes. So he has said something. I'm only gonna be here for a minute because I just want to come on here and let you know that I've heard something. Um, so has he said something about the Spurs? I ain't seen nothing, y'all. I heard Trey Lyles doesn't have a good work ethic. I don't know though. I've heard that too, and it's just something about that. All right, see you next stream. All right, dude. I'll see you later. Um, it was something about that it really bothered me a little bit. That you didn't say anything, or I didn't see anything. Some candy bars be healthy though. Then why did Trey Lyles respond with, "Man, you don't supposed to be saying that"? It didn't sound like it was no protein bars or, you know what I'm saying, some indulge type bars. It didn't sound like that. Clan, appreciate the update, bro. Oh, no problem, man. No problem. I'm not that excited about it. I mean, I have no reason. I have no reason to be on here and just spread stuff. Um, and y'all seen how much I've been like so excited for DeRozan this whole season. Like you see how hype I've been um, on DeRozan. Sorry, I'm looking at a message. How hype I've been about DeRozan. So this isn't something that I'm gleefully getting out there, but I do want to be like every time I hear something, I do want to be able to get on here and document it and let it be here and let it be known that Clan said it. He did say it. We did talk about it. So it's not just something that's just hitting all of it our blind side. You know what I mean? It would hurt us to lose DeRozan. Yeah, yeah. It depending on who they get, but it could possibly have us worse this season, but better in the long run if DeRozan didn't stay. But like I said, I don't think you should move like that. I don't think you should move in a scared way. And on top of it, I know the Spurs could have gave him an extension, but it's only been 1 year, and Spurs typically don't go all in on stuff that early. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be one season and then you get paid. The same thing with Patty. Patty was here since how long has he been here, y'all? 2011. Then we had Patty Mills in 2011, and Patty Mills was making about $200,000. And then after that, I think he bumped it up to about a million, then a million, then a million, then a million, then a million. Then he hit his 10 million mark. Or no, I think it went from a million to 3 million, and then to 10 million. So it takes a while for them to just go all in on you. You said 8 years, I think. Yeah, because I think he started off with only like 200,000. I'm pretty sure that's how much he was making at the beginning. It was like nothing. I said nothing, but that's like a great salary. But you know what I mean? NBA world, that's nothing. Um, Bamba is trash though. What y'all talking about trading for Bamba? Yo, I only want Bamba. I would only want Bamba so I could sing that Bamba song. That's the only reason I would want Bamba. Don't trade him. I agree with you. I don't want us to trade him. But imagine Porzingis instead of LA. That's messed up. Porzingis might not be. Well, Spurs are really good with keeping people healthy, so he'll be all right. Even though Kawhi and Uncle Dennis don't think so. The songs is better than the player. Yeah, because that song, I like that song a lot. Ballin' like Mo Bumba. He potentially is being locked in Orlando. Oh, Pop will be retired, Becky will be coach, and we will be in rebuild mode. We never really been in rebuild mode. I mean, as long as I've been watching the Spurs, they really just kind of reload. They don't really rebuild. Rebuild insinuates that you're starting from the ground up again. Spurs never do that. They kind of just, put some more pieces into play and then, go ahead and do their thing. Lonnie answered my question on that Q&A. Oh, when do you have a Q&A? Did you have a Q&A today? If Bamba came here and started, he could ball out or ball up. Y'all think so? I don't like anything from the Knicks or Bulls for a quality trade. Yeah, me neither. I don't. I mean, I guess it would come down to draft picks. I mean, but I don't know what their picks look like. Their draft picks. I mean, they're as far as their talent, the only guy I can't even like go all in and say, "Oh, I want him." Well, maybe be Zach LaVine, but I mean, Zach LaVine ain't all. I don't know. He ain't that great, I guess. I don't know. But like I said, anything that the Spurs do, I'm like the ultimate optimist. So if the Spurs make a move, I know that they're doing it for a reason. Spurs typically they've made some bad moves, bad choices here and there, but they're human. But typically, as far as a one franchise goes, they've always supplied the best possibilities for us. Anytime they get thrown a curveball, they swing back. They figure a way. They figure out a way to score. I mean, and they do it quick too. I mean, this isn't a franchise that's just they're on the back of their heels and they're just trying to make amends for everything. That Kawhi stuff happened out of nowhere. They made amends for it. They say just get a draft pick, get Pirtle, get DeRozan, still make the playoffs. And then the Marcus Morris thing happened. It's like, all right, you threw us a curveball. We weren't expecting that. But let's go ahead and bring in Trey Lyles for the low. We got a little bit of money left. Let's see what we can do with that. And now them talking about the DeRozan thing and DeRozan being on the trade block, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I would at least need. I know this is just kind of new. It's new to me too with all this news, but for me, it would take me some time to like think about it, and get over it if this happens or if it's 100% true. It would take me some time to get over it, all right, and then realize what they're trying to do. Because at this point, I don't know. Maybe they just don't have full faith that DeRozan will be here. You know, put us in the East. We go into the conference. Man, put us in the East. We would dominate. We would dominate that conference like uh, LeBron was doing. Like real talk. We will be in the finals every year. I mean, they expose Pop exposed everybody. Like they will be in. I promise they'll be in the finals every year. I mean, even look at Giannis in the Bucks. I love me some Giannis. Don't get me wrong. And Giannis just need jump shot, but Giannis dominated everybody throughout the year. And I think we might have went against the Bucks twice. And I feel like it was the second time we went against the Bucks. And we went against the Bucks the second time, and he couldn't do anything on us. Like we exposed him, straight up exposed. He looked bad in that second game against us. I don't know how many points he had, but they were really struggle points. Like it wasn't easy, and we won that game. What happened now? If we don't trade for another All Star, then LA should be gone too, and reboot we go. Oh, I I'm all for anybody that says trade LA. I'm sorry to be like that, man. I want to support LA. Um, I guess his attitude after that game 7 loss really stuck with me. It resonated with me because I'm looking at everyone's reaction. I'm looking at Derek White, who's crying. I mean, dude is crying that we lost that series. And these guys make so much money, and it's easily guys in the league that lose and don't care because they're like, hey, I got paid, I'm cool. Now let me go back to my mansion. He wasn't like that. He he really was hurt that they lost. He wanted to win that bad. I mean, it looked like he lost the finals. That's how bad he wanted to win. And then you look at Brendan Forbes, he just has an attitude about him, and he's talking the talk, and he's saying we're going to be back. I feel like we can do a lot of things next year. I'll never talking like with the utmost confidence, and maybe I would take that with a grain of salt if it wasn't for him showing up, because he did show up in that game 7, and his play on the court was exactly what you expected in his interview, because he had every right to say the things that he said after that loss and have that type of attitude. We need another big man. I feel you. I'm all for, like, we say we need another big man, because last year we said it when we got rid of Pau Gasol. We knew we needed another big man. Everyone knew it. Pau Gasol. We knew Pau Gasol wasn't it at some point last year. We were like, he ain't it. He ain't gonna get the job done. Then he got hurt, and then he came back, and we started losing. It was awful, and we knew that he probably wasn't the go-to guy. I felt as if the Spurs should have put him in better positions. We didn't, and instead we elected just not to play him, and that's fine. That's fine. But I feel like with all this talk about who we need to, like, that we need to get a big man, I think that some of it, I'm not saying that everyone's doing this, but I think at some point, I think we got to realize that by us constantly focusing on this big man issue and saying we need a center to start, I think people are not fully given the right credit and the right amount of respect to Jakob, like, at all. I feel like Jakob deserves way more credit than he's getting. He was one of the best defenders on the team. Period. He was a shot blocker. You did not want to just go around the rim with Jakob lurking. I'm sorry. That's how he was last season. And his basketball IQ was one of the best of the team. He was the first, and I mean this, and I remember this last season. He was the first player, the first new Spurs player. I got that thing. He was the first new Spurs player to the team that picked up on the offense. He was the first. He was the first one, and he does not get credit for that. He does not get credit for that, because I remember how everyone was still struggling trying to learn the offense, and Jakob was just sitting there making the right reads, making the right passes, screening when he should have. Like, he was playing great. So, hey, I love him, and Eubanks is going to be pretty good too. You know, I think we don't really look at Eubanks either. Eubanks is a really good. He has a really good hook shot. And the hook shot is virtually unstoppable. You can't stop a hook shot. if it's a player who masters it, because players don't do it no more. And I think Eubanks realizes that he doesn't have all the skill sets necessary to just be a dominant big man, but he can be pretty dominant if he mastered the hook shot. And you cannot stop it. It's impossible to stop the hook shot if you do it correctly, because the amount of arc on the ball, the way that you're protecting the ball, and you being that big body, it's just, you can't block it. You just can't. DeRozan for Hayward might make sense basketball wise if he gets healthy. I love Hayward, y'all. I love Hayward. Bucking Spurs podcast. I love Hayward. I love Hayward. Hold on. What Kyle said? My arm getting tired. I'm just holding up this phone, y'all. I hope it's not like shaking when I'm holding it. Eubanks is ready. Yeah, Eubanks is a good player, man. Drew averaged like 16-8 in summer league. Yeah, he did a good job. What have I missed? Man. Metu. I am not a big Metu fan. I don't know how you guys feel about Metu. I've never been a big Metu fan. And I know he's young, but it's just, I don't know, it's something about his mannerisms or something. It's just, I'm not a big fan of his. I don't know what it is, man. I just get a weird feeling about him. Splitter, the hook guy, too. Splitter had a decent hook shot, yeah. He had a decent hook shot. I forgot he's on the roster. Yeah. Metu. I'm not a big Metu fan. Hold on, I'm about to sit down or lay down for a minute, because I cannot, like, keep doing this. Met you skinny like Bull. He's a skinny dude. He's definitely a skinny dude. Let's see, DeRozan gonna make us proud this year. I hope so, man. I hope we can keep him. Um, but like I said, this is an exciting offseason. I'm excited for what we do. So DeRozan, Aldridge, and 2 firsts for Cat. For Karl Anthony Towns, you gonna give up DeRozan, Aldridge, and 2 firsts for Karl? No, Kyle. I don't agree with that. Does anybody agree with Kyle? I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. Maybe some people agree with that. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I wouldn't do that because Karl Anthony Towns, um, he's one of those players, and I don't mean to compare him to to this player that I'm about to compare him to, because he's obviously better, but he reminds me of freaking Dwight Howard. And the reason why he reminds me of Dwight Howard, and at this point in career, if Dwight Howard went to the Spurs, I don't think he really fits. But if he went to the Spurs, um, maybe we can put him in a pretty good role. He still got that big body. He still take care of himself. But Karl Anthony Towns, he has all the ability to be a great big man, but every time he's out there and he's making a move, he's always unsure what move he's about to make. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Has anybody else noticed that? Because Karl Anthony Towns does that. Like, he'll have the ball, and it looks like he's about to go to work, and he exudes confidence. He looks like he's pretty confident, and then when he put that ball on the court, and then he tries to make a move, it looks like he did not practice it. It always looks as if he's making it up as he go while he's on the court, and that's how Dwight Howard used to do, and it bothers me so much because he has so much potential, but I don't think he really has the heart to elevate his game. Hell no, Cat is good, but he's not a dominant takeover games type of guy. He can be. That's the irritating part. He can be, but he doesn't. Are we actually going to trade Rosen? I don't know, Chase. I don't know. As of now, I'm hearing that he's on the trading block. I heard it from CG, and then I heard it from Paul Garcia, who retweeted it from uh, another NBA insider named Ross. So I don't know. What did you say about DeRozan? DeRozan and Pirtle to Magic for Aaron Gordon, Mo Bamba, and Okiki. I'm okay. Marcus All would fit Spurs system. I've always liked Marcus All. I wouldn't trade anybody for Marcus All though. Marcus All is super happy where he's at. Not guarantee he would want to stay. I feel like we would have to give them a young point guard, a young shooting guard. I don't know who y'all talking about. Aaron Gordon good. The only player, like I told you the 2 teams already that are looking at it. But the only player I will really want. Oh, fantasy trades are hilarious. The only player I would really want if this had to happen, if you just put a gun to my head and said, Clan, you got to trade DeRozan. You got to stop holding on to DeRozan. And I said, all right, screw it. I'll do it. And if I had to do it, it will be Hayward. It will be for Hayward. I know a lot of people probably don't agree with that, but it will be for Hayward. That's the only player that I can think of in my head where I could come back on here and be super excited for next year. That's it. Because Hayward has such high basketball IQ. He's a pretty big player. Him with the Jazz was ridiculous. I mean, he was so good with the Jazz. And Jazz plays. That's another reason why I feel like Trey Lyles could have a pretty good career with us because Jazz play a similar brand of basketball than the Spurs. Like Jazz are very similar to the San Antonio Spurs and how they play. I love the way Utah Jazz play. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but they play a great brand of basketball, and it's pretty close to how the Spurs pass the ball. They're a little more flashy at times, but it's about the same. Let's go after Giannis in 2021. Giannis would love to play with Pop. He's such a winner. But he's already under a branch of Pop. Budenhauser or something. I didn't really see Hayward play last year. Oh wait, you said 2021. Wait a minute. 20. Oh yeah, Pop would still be here. I didn't really see Hayward play last year. I didn't really watch Hayward play much last year either. I mean, he got hurt, and then I haven't really watched a lot of Boston Celtics basketball after that. But I was a huge Gordon Hayward fan when he was with the Jazz. Like I felt like he was gonna bring them, and I really mean this, y'all. I felt as if he was gonna bring them a championship when he was playing for Utah. I saw the way they were playing. You know, when they had DL, you know, Lyles, Gobert, you got Gordon Hayward. I just felt like that team with a little more talent was going to hold up a trophy, and I felt like Hayward would bring them that. He was so clutch. I mean, Hayward made so many big shots, and he's so underrated. And he's a guy that, yeah, I can see the Spurs taking him on because he has a Spur type mentality. But that's just me. That's just me. I don't know. He chose to go to the Boston Celtics. Um, so, hey, maybe he just wants to be a Celtic. Trade DeRozan for a sack of potatoes. Man, leave my boy DeRozan alone. Don't you come in here with that. I'm just kidding. You can come in with whatever type of energy you want. I'm just talking. I'm just upset. Kawhi shuts down Hayward every time. Kawhi lives in the West now. Not good. I mean, yeah, I don't care who Kawhi shut down. Under Popovich, Kawhi's going to have a hard time shutting down anybody. I mean, really at this point, similar to LeBron, Spurs are going to be Kawhi's kryptonite. If you paid attention, oh, dang, I thought, oh, cool, somebody's, sorry, I'm over here on YouTube going live, and I just saw a YouTuber that I like going live, so I was like, hey, I want to get out here and go to his live. But anyway, I think that what was I saying? Oh, when it comes to Kawhi, we shut down Kawhi pretty good. Like the Spurs know how to play Kawhi, and they know how to continuously take Kawhi out of the game. And then I just feel like this season when we went against Kawhi Leonard, a lot of times when Nick Nurse said, "All right, Kawhi, get on DeRozan because he's killing us," DeRozan just gave it the ball really quickly, and somebody else made a play. You know, it wasn't really a lot of, "Oh, I'm gonna try to go at Kawhi," because Pop probably told them we're not gonna go straight at Kawhi like that. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna continuously try to keep him out of the play, and that's what we did. And you know, it worked for the first game. Second game, it worked, but DeRozan gave up the ball at the end, and that was awful. That was an awful game. That was an awful ending to that game. That was so embarrassing. That was so embarrassing. That was so hard to watch, y'all. I felt so sick sitting in that chair watching that. Who you like being live? Who I like being live? Or what do I you saying like what YouTubers are? It has nothing to do with basketball. D White was on Kawhi for about, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Derek White was on him for a good majority of the game. He did a good job on him too. We got Kawhi's number. Yeah, yeah. I'm not worried about Kawhi. Like that's one thing. Kawhi naturally is not. Uh, Kawhi naturally is a defender. Just like with DeRozan, he's naturally a slasher. Like, but he learned the mid range game. That's why when you see DeRozan give the ball up at the end of games when he's in the paint, it's partially because his instincts are always goes back to slashing. Sometimes he does good. Sometimes he you know, does crazy stuff. Um, and then when it comes to Kawhi is a defender, and that's what he came into the league as. He had to learn a jump shot. We had to teach. I would just say Spurs had to teach him a jump shot. We had to really help him with that, and he worked on it, and he got really good at his jump shot. He got really good at scoring because you really typically don't supposed to be able to score with big hands like that. But Spurs and Kawhi figured it out. Um, and at this point, I'm not afraid of Kawhi's offensive ability, and I never will be because we were up front with Kawhi, and we understood that the way that Pop put you in certain positions, you can make him virtually unstoppable. But at the same time, we're the same organization that made him. Kind of like that expression: "If I make you, you know, if I create you, if I bring you into this world, I can take you out." I feel like that's the same thing in regard to Kawhi. Same thing with Danny. Danny can't do anything on the Spurs, like at all. They just know you too well. You know what I'm saying? You have 1.9K subs, but only 200 followers on IG. The fuck? Um, I don't have just 200 followers on IG. Oh, 600. No, I got 40. How many do I have, y'all? I got 44,000. I got 44,000 Instagram followers. What are you talking about? Or are you talking about the Clan the Spurs fan Instagram page? Because on the Spurs Wave Instagram page, I got 44,000. You know what? I can stay even longer. Are you gonna live or be live in 30 minutes? Uh, I don't know, man. I'm about to get off in a little bit. Uh, I'm looking at the wrong page. Yeah, I'm Spurs Wave. Now the other one, I do have a Clan the Spurs fan page, but I'm never on there really. And then I have a DeRozan. It's called DeRozan Wave, which is another DeRozan page, and that one has about 5,000 and something. It's not that many, but yeah, my Spurs Wave page got 44,000. Uh, and and by the way, I just created this YouTube page, so give me about a year and it'll be bigger. Right? Yeah, I literally just created this. I didn't even create a whole year ago. I created it when I start like doing these videos, y'all. Was it the beginning of this season? Was it the beginning of this season? I don't even remember. It might have been. I think it was right at the beginning of the season because it was right when LA was struggling, and I made a statement about LA because I my first video I made was about Dak Prescott with the Cowboys because I'm a Cowboys fan too. Because a lot of people trash him, and I had to just rant about that. And then I think I made a LA thing because I felt I was saying is LA the next Carmelo, and that was at the beginning of the season. So yeah, let's see, bro. I didn't know that. That's crazy. My Lonnie page has 1,000 followers. That's what's up, man. Rosen won't get traded because the Spurs are trying to make it more comfortable and building a Raptors team around him. Oh my God, don't say that. Ooh, Gene, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say the Spurs are trying to make a Raptors team around him. Don't say that. Don't do that. Let's just make a Spurs team. That's not. I don't want to just accommodate one player. We tried to accommodate one player and then he bounced on us. You see, except for Duncan. No, we accommodated Duncan. Duncan was a different story. He won with us just 1 year before they started doing that. I was a Cowboy fan, but then my cousin got drafted by the Rams, so Rams fan now. That's funny. Who's your cousin? Tell your cousin to shout out this page. Walker will be a starter if DeRozan gets traded. Dang, that's a good thing to look at or think about. Would Walker be a starter if DeRozan gets traded? No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't be a starter. I would assume that whoever they trade DeRozan, unless it's picks, whoever they would trade for DeRozan would be an instant starter. That's just my opinion. I think that whoever it would be like a really good player, another all star, another not even all star, but another like upcoming star in some way. So he'll be an instant starter. I don't see that. And even and yesterday they didn't. Yesterday they just got like a young piece and ooh, yesterday they just got a young piece and I don't know. Um, like some draft picks. More than likely they will probably start Rudy at small forward. That's just as my assumption. Um, they gave him quite a bit of change. Uh, yeah, that's just how. And Lonnie Walker, like everybody think that Lonnie Walker all day, he's the future. Everyone thinks I'm gonna say something. Everyone thinks that I am sleeping on Lonnie Walker, and I do not understand it. Just because I give Derek White praise, which he deserves it. I'm sorry, I'm a big Derek White fan, but doesn't mean that I'm trashing Lonnie. Like I love Lonnie Walker. I think Lonnie Walker is an upcoming star, but there's still some lingering questions about Lonnie. Like I mean, the two that I can think of right off the bat is health. He got to stay healthy, and he has not shown that he can stay healthy yet. And that's kind of, no, I don't want to say it's completely out of his control because I guess it's conditioning too. But sometimes stuff like that is out of your control as far as you just have that, you just get injured. It's like nothing you can really do about it. So can he stay injury free? And his defense, if because Lonnie Walker last season, his defense was iffy. It was an iffy defense. I wasn't sure if he was going to, play. Yeah, it's like every time he played defense, he wasn't sure what exactly was going on, and he had a tough time playing defense. Now, if you go look at old clips of him in Miami, he got a knack for it, and he's a really good defender. He's a clutch defender too. He made really big plays on defense for that team. But one thing that one of the main reasons we even got Loney is because he was injury prone. So it's just some questions. There's a couple questions there, but at the same time, like I know what Loney can be, and I know that Loney should be the next Spurs star, like by any means. As far as like, is he, better? Because I know some people say that he's like the best. Because somebody got real mad at me because I give so much praise to Derek White, and they said, "Bro, Loney's better than him." And honestly, I think Loney Walker is probably has the potential to be better, the best player on the team. Just his athleticism, his size, his attitude, his shooting ability, his explosiveness. He definitely even his passing ability. He has the ability because his passing is as good as Derek White. I won't say better if he's not better, but his passing is as good as Derek White's. Um, he always shows you something new on the court. He always sees things, break down the court. So yes, Lonnie Walker has the ability to be the best player on the team. Period. I understand that. I see it. I mean, I'm not oblivious to that. But at the same time, there are still things about Lonnie Walker that you have to have answered. Some people don't have answered. Hey, can you guys do me a favor? Everybody that's in here, I see it's about 50 something people in here. Can you give this video a like right now? Just give it a like, hit that like button, help me out because I think that helps the algorithm and that'll help more people and more Spurs fans see this page. Because I know when I was coming up or when I was like watching, not coming up, but when I was like in middle school and I kept like looking for people talking about the Spurs, they never talked about it on television. They never talked about it on social media. There was just a couple fan pages that sucked. I won't tell their names, but it was some fan pages out there that were big, big Spurs fan pages. And I was like, dude, you guys don't even talk about the Spurs. You just post what happened, you post the score, and you go about your business. And then that made me want to go ahead and make, Instagram. And then now you see me, I'm trying to make this YouTube page something because I really do want Spurs fans to get here. So if you guys can give it a like, that would mean the world to me. Because some people told me even that most Spurs fans meet up at Spurs Forum on SpursTalk.com. It's like, just stop all that. I mean, that forum stuff, that's so like those blogs or whatever. That's like early 2000 stuff, man. I mean, let's bring it to YouTube. Let's get the chat going in YouTube. Let's have it where people go over here to this chat and talk Spurs basketball. Let's do it like that. Hold on, I think I missed some comments on here. I love this channel. Thanks, Alan. Yes, Murray, Walker, and White. Okay, you just excited, Alex. People keep sleeping on our young core. They really do. And oh, like DeJounte Murray said, we need to wake their ass up. Spurs defense hard to figure out too, but he's athletic. Yeah. You talking about Lonnie? Yeah, Lonnie looked awful defensively at times last year, y'all. Like I remember when we went against the Warriors and Pop just threw him in the fire. You see how much Pop likes him because Pop typically don't do that. He's hard on Lonnie because he knows how much confidence Lonnie has. Um, he threw him in the fire, man, and Lonnie looked awful, like awful. Like he missed so many shots going against the defending champions. He didn't know when to switch. It was awful. This channel is lit as fuck. Thanks, Alex. Really appreciate that. Y'all, please, people that's in here, give this video a like. Please, right now, give it a like. I'm at 34. I want to get it to 50 likes, at least 50 likes. Then I'm gonna bounce. Lonnie needs to muscle too. Athletic as F, but skinny too. Lonnie built some muscle. August. He built some muscle. Lonnie got some muscle. I used to I would agree with you a year ago, but he might have hit his NBA max as far as muscle. Like he got some pretty good muscle. It's necessary what he got. Uh, bro, what you mean? Lonnie ripped. Look at his IG. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, Lonnie got bigger. He definitely got bigger. And it's recent too, so I'm not gonna get on to you because it is recent. It's not like he's been ripped. I mean, it's fairly recent when we seen how much muscle he got. Uh, he be on the news locally in San Antonio often when he in town. But his name Raymond Richards. He used to go to Bankridge High School. What are you? I don't even know what's talk. I don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. Already liked it, bro. Thanks, Renegade. 1, White. 2, Murray. 3, Walker. 4, Carroll. 5, Aldridge. Starting lineup if DeRozan gets traded. If DeRozan, like I said, if DeRozan gets traded, more than likely it should be with another star. So I would just start the star. I think Lonnie should come off the bench. Just because of his injury proneness and proneness. I don't think proneness is a word, but just because he's injury prone. But not only that, I think that he can take over offense. I think he could run the second unit, like for real. He's a really good ball handler and playmaker. Hope we don't trade Demar. Wait a minute, I missed something else. Oh no, I didn't. Hope we don't trade Demar. He has a bunch of heart, and not to mention his offense is lights out. Second year, he will be only better. I hope so. For real though, YouTube doesn't hype you. Oh yeah, yeah, it doesn't. I'll tell you one thing though. It changed quite a bit from when I first started doing this stuff until when I got because if you clicked on this video, I'm pretty sure you saw like an ad. So I got into the YouTube partners thing, which was hard as F, y'all. Y'all don't realize it. It is hard as F. Any of y'all that got a YouTube channel that's trying to get um accepted so you could put ads on your stuff and try to monetize your videos, it is hard. Like they changed everything where you have to have 1,000 subs, which is already tough to begin with because getting to 1,000 subs seems like it's not a lot. It seems like it's not that hard. But if YouTube doesn't have your algorithm out there, then no one's gonna see your video. So you got to get to 1,000, but then you have to have 4,000 watch hours. 4,000 hours? That's a lot of watch time. Like, that's crazy watch time. How many streams do you remember when I was on here and we were on here talking for like 4 hours? That's just four. Well, I mean, you would take the four and multiply by however many people was in there, but it still wasn't that many. It still wasn't that much. Like 4,000 watch hours is crazy. So it took a lot to even get to this point. And then once I got the partnership or whatever, the little partnership, and they say you're accepted, and they started monetizing the videos, I get way more views and it pops up more often. Like the other day when I did that Trey Lyles video, I went to YouTube and typed in Trey Lyles, video was at the top. So they definitely Spurs related stuff. I'm like one of the only. It's only me and probably a couple other people that do Spurs videos. So I know I'm the only one that's monetized. So at this point, every time Spurs news come out, my channel probably going to be one of the first ones to pop up. So that's gonna be cool. You said who my cousin was who played in Rams. His name is Raymond Rich. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you. Ruru, why would they want Lowry when they didn't want Lowry in free agency? And why would we trade Demar if trying to get Lowry? I think the Lowry thing is false. It's like super false. I haven't heard nothing about that. It was that one person who mentioned it, and I looked into it and couldn't find it anywhere. So now this trading Demar thing, I think at this point, I think it's probably pretty legit, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't for me finding where the source came from and CG mentioning it earlier today. So he mentioned it before I even he mentioned it before I heard it on Instagram, but I went back and saw it that he mentioned it. YouTube only makes 6 hours max at a time. Wait, what? Only got 30 followers. Okay, you got 30 subs, you mean? YouTube only makes 6 hours max at a time. It's hard, man. It's hard to get monetized. Yeah, you came up on my recommended how I first saw this channel. See, it's the algorithm. It's changing now because I was getting at some point I was getting like 200, 300 views, 200, 300 views. I did the Spurs rap, and I could have sworn to myself, "Ooh, that's gonna, the Spurs rap. Ooh, people gonna get on this." Nah, it only had like 900 views. So now that I got the little partnership, now I'm getting like 4,000, 5,000 a video. So that's good. Uh, I've been with you from the beginning. Thanks, man. I know Gene. So CG confirmed this. What the F did we re-sign Rudy then? We could have just moved all three of the big stars and rebuilt. This pisses me off. I don't know. I don't know. CG has said that he's on the trading block, and the only teams that he heard has mentioned anything was the Knicks and Bulls. But I mean, who knows, Ruru? Who knows at this point? Um, can we please trade LA instead? I feel the same way. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start getting off, y'all. I appreciate all the likes. Trade LA. Yeah, I appreciate all the likes. This is definitely a hit to the gut. This is so upsetting to me. I know, Ruru. I know. But we'll see what happens. You gotta trust in the process, as Joel Embiid would say. As Joel Embiid would say. You started late September, early August, to answer your question earlier. Oh, yeah. So how long is that? You said late September. So about August. You see, September, November, December, January, March, April, May. Okay. So it's yeah. Okay. It's close to a year. Not yet though. I know Spurs like Demar. If they trade Demar DeRozan, it's because he isn't going to resign. Probably. Are we rebuilding or trying to get another star? With Spurs have not rebuilt at all. They've just been reloading. We can just be shopping or hearing offers. Don't mean we trade them. Yeah. It's probably that's what I'm saying too. They're probably entertaining it, but it's not guaranteed that they, trade them. They did the same thing with Danny Green a couple seasons. They were hearing no, they were actually trying to trade Danny Green. Who did they do it with? Where they were listening to offers but didn't necessarily act on it. I don't know. I know it happened before. First time chatting, keep DeMar DeRozan. Yes, sir. Uh, take in. I buy a Kawhi jersey and DeMar, and they both get bro. That would suck. Bro, that would suck. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate everybody that stopped by the channel. Please help it grow, and and if you want, it will be pretty cool if you're new to the channel. I put a lot of, and I know this is old, but I put a lot of effort into this because I tried to make it before the Toronto game this season, and I made a Spurs rap, and I put it on here, and if you click on my channel, it should be at the top of the channel. I highlighted it, but if you type in like Spurs rap Kawhi this or whatever, it should be on there. So go in there and check that out. If you haven't heard it, it will make it. It should make you laugh. You'll probably enjoy it. So, but I'm about to go ahead and get off, y'all. If DeMar gets traded, I'm done. You can't trade DeMar. Make t-shirts. Me? I don't know. Maybe in the future, man. This page I have to grow first before I start trying to do that. Peace out, clan. Thanks for the info, bro. No problem, IT. Um, we can be part of the clean. What? I think the Spurs should build around. All right. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll get with you later. Appreciate all the love. Until next time. Deuces. Have a good day. Be safe. Talk to you later.